Yo! Today, as you can see by the title, I'm gonna be ranking every single Kanye West song. Kanye West. He's my favorite artist of all time, and he's one of the most creative people that I can think of. He also has one of the most solid, if not the most solid, discography that I know of. And that's why I've decided to make this video. I'm gonna be ranking every single one of his songs that are on a solo album of his, so I won't be including Watch the Throne or Kids See Ghosts, and I will also not be ranking skits, transitional songs like I'll Fly Away, and so on.
Whoopie-dee scoop, scoop-dee-dee whoop. Whoop-dee scoop-dee poop.
And before everyone gets mad at me, I'd like to say that this is my own opinion. This is very subjective. These are my favorite Kanye songs in a personal list to me. So yeah, don't get too mad at me while watching this. I'm sorry if you placed one of your favorite songs lower on the list, but that's just my opinion. So yeah, let's get into it. Oh yeah, like the video because that's gonna push it into the algorithm and has a better chance of doing well. Okay, thanks. At last place, I've got Barry Bonds. I absolutely hate this song, and it may be my least favorite song of all time. Maybe the song is not that bad on its own, but knowing that Kanye made it makes it so much worse.
Every knee shall bow.
Jesus is Lord is one of the most forgettable Kanye songs for me, and I can barely recall what it sounds like. Same for the next two tracks, God Is and Water, and I'd say for a lot of the Jesus is King album, but I think Water has a bit of a more interesting instrumental to it, so I'm gonna put it up. I don't think this should have been made into a song. This song already exists. Kanye just kind of made it worse.
He the new commander and the chief. That's okay.
Again, I like the instrumental, but other than that, there's not really any redeeming quality. Next, we're moving into songs that I don't hate, but I don't like either.
Everything we need.
Everything We Need is the first song on that list, and I think it places there because it could have been so much better hearing the Yandi version.
Asked for advice and they dissed him. Set up.
Hands On is another really forgettable track by Kanye, so that's why it places here.
See me in person, I look like a ghost. See me in person.
This track had a lot of potential, but I don't like the Lil Yachty feature, and I also think Kanye is very underwhelming on it.
Late for that, I can't wait for that. I think I was made.
Late doesn't place this low because I think it's bad. I just think it's rather forgettable compared to the other Kanye songs and songs off of Late Registration. Same thing I said for Late also applies to Gone.
I can't really see where did I miss.
Junior is a bit of a hit or miss for me. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. I just think it's kinda eh. Bring Me Down is one of the lows on Late Registration, but I still don't think it's that bad.
Real friends, how many of us? How many?
Real Friends is my least favorite song from Pablo, and I know a lot of you will disagree on me on this, but I just don't really like the song too much. This track has some funny lines, but I think the beat is very minimal and I don't like the chorus.
I was looking at the gram and I don't even like lights. I was screaming.
Another Jesus is King song, which I think is okay, but really forgettable. Next, we're moving into tracks that I like.
My big brother was Big's brother.
It honestly hurt me to put Big Brother this low, but that just says how good Kanye's discography is.
Use this gospel for protection.
This song would have been a lot higher if the Yandi version dropped, but sadly it didn't.
Throw your diamonds in the sky if you feel the vibe.
This is only this low because the remix with Jay-Z exists, otherwise I don't think it's that bad at all.
Again, I use my back against the wall, never caught on y'all.
No Child Left Behind is a cool closer to Donda, but nothing really too special happens on that track.
Hospital been 100 bands, fuck a watch, 100 grand.
One of the most minimal Kanye songs that I can think of.
You my Chick-fil-A, hold the selfie.
I like the feel of this song and how low-key it is, but I wish he could have done a little more.
Y'all sleeping on me, huh? Had a good snooze.
Feedback has some cool ideas, but I don't know if I like those ideas.
Don't let the lifestyle drag you.
I don't mind this track, I think the beat is cool, I think Kanye did okay on it, nice song.
Yeah.
Great sample used on this song, hurt me to put it this low. Breathe In, Breathe Out is my least favorite song from the College Dropout, and it's still a pretty good song.
Make sure it's safe for who's left, no you can't find.
I like the drop and I like the build up to it, but I think he could have maybe done slightly more.
Guess we going jail, guess who going to jail.
I like the Jay-Z verse, I like the beat, just maybe drags on for a little too long, and the outro is a little unnecessary.
Give me your Tylenol, you put a nigga to sleep. I'm tired.
Fun vibes, good song.
Ships become jail, children are unheld.
I like the vocals on this song, and I also like Kanye on it.
I got the swerve like alcohol. Late my freshman year, I was going through hell.
Cool instrumental, Kanye also does really well on this track, but I just think it kinda drags out.
Bad schools with the fast food, bad hat.
I like the vocals on this song. Same goes for this as for the last song.
When I need a demons to be gone and it's not further.
I like the features on this track.
I can't rock your boat.
I like the Young Thug feature on here, I just think the song sounds a little outdated.
He'll evangelize, he gon' part the ties.
Another track that I think is good, and I like the outro.
Nigga, do we have a problem? Matter of fact, Marlon, this ain't me.
I used to like this track a lot more, but I don't know, something happened and I don't like it as much. I still like it though.
Wanna sit down, but we hit the drive-thru.
I think Drunk and Hot Girls gets a lot of hate. I think it's a fun track and sounds kinda new school.
We just peeking in. I know I made a promise that I'd never let the reaper.
I don't think this track makes up for its length, but I still like what Kanye does on here.
Shine in the shade.
Cool Chris Brown feature, cool track.
Nike out here bad, they can't get shit away.
Very underrated.
Offering, all far too often, yeah. Call God, but
Maybe drags out for a little too long, but I like the Vori feature a lot. Every Hour is a great intro, just like any other intro Kanye does for an album.
thinking I should be a better me.
Chilled out track where Don Toliver does great and so does Kid Cudi.
Wait a year. This nigga graduated at the top of our class.
One of my least favorite songs from the College Dropout, but I still like it. Freestyle 4 is goofy and fun and perfectly encapsulates Pablo.
Ronald Reagan cooked up an answer. You hear that?
Crack Music has a great instrumental to it and I like what Kanye does on it. From here on I'd say we're moving on to tracks that I really like and I'd have them in my playlist. I like the instrumental and Amazing even though it drags out slightly long.
You tweaking out on my text again and I don't get reception here.
My opinion on Wouldn't Leave changes a lot, but I think it's a great song.
Here we go again. Common passed on this beat I made.
Everything I Am has a great sample and a great beat. Wolves is one of the most creative songs Kanye has done, even though I don't like how some of the stuff is executed. I love this track.
All this time, all he had, and what he dreamed.
This song screams Kanye.
Nigga, I'm home on these charts, y'all niggas.
Great instrumental and I like Kanye's verse more than I do Jay-Z's.
We got the product, we got the tools, we got the minds, we got the...
I also think Salah would have placed higher if the Yandi version didn't exist.
It's some things she don't need to know.
Robocop is a fun song and used to be my favorite track from 808s when I first listened to it, but of course my opinion has changed. Love Lockdown is really calm and then the drums come in and it becomes even better.
Who's the busiest loser?
Again, Hurricane would have been a lot higher if the Yandi version didn't exist.
Name me K-Rock's there, leave me alone. Bulls jacket.
I like the message behind Drive Slow and I like the beat on it.
Like no one, kept it real tight like your son.
I like the instrumental and I think the features do well as well.
He's made in the coldest winter.
Another hit or miss for me, but I would say generally I love this track. One of the most underrated and underappreciated Kanye songs. It's full of sadness and emotion.
I am a god. Hurry up with my damn aside.
My least favorite track from Yeezus, but it's still great.
And all I got was a brand new sports car.
Both Kid Cudi and Kanye kill it on here. Next, we're moving on to tracks that I love.
Played it off and act like
Bad News is one of the saddest songs on 808s and I love it. Everyone on Off the Grid does well, 5Yo goes off, Cardi does his thing, and so does Kanye. Great track, although I do think it's slightly overrated. Highlights is one of his most goofy, random, and fun songs in my opinion, which is why I feel like it works so well on Pablo. Great Roddy Ricch feature on this song.
It's never over.
I love what Kanye does on Addiction, I love the story, I just love everything about this song.
The goddamn dance track gotta hurt. That's right.
So Appalled is my least favorite track from My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, but I still love this track, and it shows how good Kanye's discography is when you have this placed that low.
bitch up, it can't go down. Get in this bitch.
Sin It Up is a great club song while remaining an experimental factor.
Ripping you up, fucking and choking you.
Blame Game is an amazing track with a great outro. Black Skinhead has great drums, very experimental, and screams Yeezus to me. One of his most underrated songs, it's loud, it's powerful, and I love the choir on it.
I'm sorry.
I don't think I need to explain myself here, it's a classic.
Come on, me get
Love this track, and I absolutely love the transition between Kanye and Twista. Graduation Day is a very personal song to me, and that's why I love it. Fade is great and experimental while keeping it simple. Again, I don't need to explain myself here, just screams Kanye to me. FML is a great song. It's somewhat low-key, but still very anthemic. Can't Tell Me Nothing is one of the most Kanye songs I've heard. Now we're cracking into the top 50. I pretty much love every single track on here, and I could go on for minutes explaining why. We Don't Care is a great intro to Kanye's debut album. I love the background vocals on All Falls Down, and Kanye does his thing. Champion shows off the great size of Graduation, which is the usage of samples of that album and Kanye's verses. Come to Life is my favorite song from Donda. I love everything about it, and I love the keys. No Mistakes has an incredibly catchy chorus, and that's why I love it. I have a love-hate relationship with this song. I used to hate it and it was my least favorite Kanye track, but now I absolutely love it. But I still drove 30 hours. Great and experimental track. It would have been a lot higher if it weren't for the outro.
Doors closed. I felt like Bad Boy Street Team.
Touch the Sky is a classic, and I don't think I need to explain why it's this high up.
The hustlers, killers, murderers, drug dealers.
Jesus Walks has some of Kanye's best verses and also a great instrumental.
Damn, girl, go ahead. Cutie the bomb.
Again, great sample used on here and peak Kanye. One of the most fun and feel-good Kanye songs ever.
Jerome get more time than Brandon, and
great verses from everyone on this track, especially from Kanye. I think this song has top 3 Kanye verse material.
I look to the light to make these.
One word that I use to describe this song is cleansing.
good morning, that's if you're still living.
Another one of Kanye's great catalog of intros. And so is On Sight, what many people would describe annoying, and I can totally understand why, but it's so good. There's like 10 people on this track, and it feels like a great group project.
When you tried your first Miley,
amazing sample, and just in general a great song.
you would give me anything in this world. Michael Jackson.
Hey Mama is one of the most heart-touching Kanye songs ever after knowing what happened with his mom, and I think everyone can relate to this song at least a little bit. Flashing Lights is definitely one of the most success-like feel songs. I used to not really like this track, but it's grown on me a lot.
I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman.
The businessman line, that's all I need to say. This song is definitely overplayed, but it's such a good song.
Last call for alcohol for the...
A great outro song to wrap up the College Dropout, and I love how he explains the story of the whole album and everything on the outro.
Y'all can't match my hustle, you can't catch.
A song which I'm sure a lot of people can relate to, whether it be with their work life, with their school life, or whatever it is. A great song.
On a path of turning on.
One of the most touching Kanye songs ever, and one of my favorites. I Wonder is peak Kanye. The sample, the drums, and everything about that song is so good. Say You Will has a hypnotizing and enticing beat, definitely, and yes, it does go on for 6 minutes, but it definitely makes up for its runtime.
You wanna check into the Heartbreak Hotel, but sorry.
Fun and makes you feel good, although it does have a darker side to it.
Secretary worked for the church for 35 years, things supposed to...
Top tier Kanye lyricism on here, and I think it has top 5 verse material. A classic, no need for explaining here, an absolute great song and the peak of 808s. Chief Keef. I don't think I have to say anymore, just Chief Keef. Streetlights creates an atmosphere unlike no other Kanye song. It brings you right into the album, and I absolutely love this song. I have a very vivid imagination when I listen to this, and it always hits.
Can I at least get a raise on the minimum wage? And I know
Adam Levine does great on this track, Kanye does great with his verses. I absolutely love the instrumental and love that outro. Just everything about this song is so good. Now we're moving into songs that are some of my favorite songs ever. Not just Kanye songs, but ever.
drugs for me.
Hell of a Life is by far, I think, the most slept on song on My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. That song is very wild to me. I love what Kanye does on there. I love the instrumental to it. I just love everything about that song.
I need to make it up.
I used to not like Guilt Trip, but now I absolutely love the song. The beat is great, Kid Cudi definitely does his thing on that song and brings the whole song together. And it's a different sound than the rest of Yeezus, and it brings that contrast to the album.
But my features and my shows 10 times your pay.
Monster has some of the best verses in any Kanye song ever. Jay-Z kills it, Kanye kills it, Rick Ross kills it, Bon Iver kills it, and Nicki Minaj, I don't need to say anything. I'm In It is one of the most wild Kanye tracks, from the sample to the lyrics and everything about that track. It's so out there and stands out.
Mercy, mercy me, that mercy I go.
Dark Fantasy is another great intro by Kanye. I love the intro by Nicki Minaj. I love the Kanye verses on here. The instrumental, just everything about the song is great. The new Workout Plan is one of the most fun and goofy songs I have ever heard, and definitely one of my favorite songs to sing along and dance to. Always helps me lift my mood. Homecoming is a very personal song to me, so that's probably why I have it so high up. But that aside, this song is absolutely amazing. Just everything about this track. How Kanye compares Chicago to a girl that he met when he was young, and yeah, just the lyricism on this song is top tier. Family Business has grown on me a lot in the past year or so. I think the sample on the track is great, Kanye's lyrics are great, and it encaptures youth.
Breakneck speed, passage to see something pretty.
No More Parties in LA, I think, has Kanye's best verse ever, or at least top 3 Kanye verse. I just think he goes off, and I love that. Kendrick also does really well. Lost in the World is one of the most full and one of the most experimental songs I have ever heard. Mostly the beat stands out to me, and I feel like it's a perfect wrap up to My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Meanwhile, the DEA teamed up with the CCA.
New Slaves is one of the most minimalistic songs that does so much, and one of my favorite songs ever. Kanye's verses on here are amazing, the Frank Ocean outro is great, and everything about this track is just so good. It's very minimalist, but it does so much. By far, I'd say the most underrated Kanye track ever. It's a moment. It's not just a song, and it's a great wrap up to the Life of Pablo, and it's one of the most personal songs on there. Also, the feature on there did great, and I could listen to the song over and over and over again.
You see, I always loved a sense of humor, but tonight...
Devil in a New Dress also has one of the best Kanye verses ever, and the instrumental is one of the best instrumentals in hip-hop history.
Jesus, save me. You know how to...
Two Words is aggressive, and I love everything about it. Everyone in the song sounds motivated. I love every single feature on here. I love what Kanye does on here, and I absolutely love the beat. Through the Wire is one of the most emotional and inspirational songs to me. Every single time I'm feeling unmotivated or uninspired to work or out of ideas, I listen to this track, and it sort of gets me back in the mindset and that anything is possible. At number 3, I have Bound 2, which is very minimalistic, but I love how experimental it is. The sample can be a bit scary and terrifying, but I think that adds to the whole album of Yeezus. Kanye is very goofy on here and has great verses with great lyrics, and it keeps your attention. And just in general, I love the sound of this track. In my opinion, Power, when you look into it, is Kanye's best produced song. From the instrumental and how everything is so tightly packed, it's explosive, it manages to keep a tempo, and just how much progression there is to the song itself. Of course, I have to mention the 21st Century Schizoid Man sample, and Kanye's verses on here are some of the best material by him ever. At number 1, I have the song that I based my channel's name from, and it's my favorite song of all time. Runaway. I'm going to make a whole different video on why I love this track as much as I do. The outro is one of the best pieces of music I have ever heard, and this song does not fail to make me cry. And that's gonna be it for the video. I'll appreciate if you guys subscribe. I plan to do a lot more content. Please like the video, please comment. It's gonna help with the algorithm and boost the video. I'm gonna be doing a lot more music related content and Kanye related content, whatever it may be, just whatever is on my mind. And yeah, tell me what you think of my ranking. Tell me if I put a song too low, tell me if I put a song too high, tell me what you think. And yeah, I guess I'll talk to you guys soon, and yeah, peace!